Hi eBay, it's Joe here. I'm a part-time eBay reseller from South East London. Not done a video in quite a while. I've been away for a couple of weeks in Thailand. Had a great time, and then was visiting family last week. So did a boot sale. Went to a boot sale down in Suffolk with my in-laws and stuff like that, which was all right. Picked up a few nice bits, but this was the first week back in London, and yeah, did the car boot sale on Saturday, did really well at it, and then just because it was bank holiday weekend, thought I'd maybe try the one on the Sunday. I tend not to go to it on Sunday just because end up with too much stock, as yeah, sort of highlighted here, and struggle to get through it all. But I thought, go up there. The weather was pretty reasonable, so yeah, this is from the couple of boot sales that I went to. I'll do a bit of a run through and talk you through some of the bits I picked up. Some bits I got some actual great finds. Most of it on the Saturday, and the Sunday was a bit more sort of run of the mill common stuff. But I'll whiz through what we got. I picked up this little puppet here, this macaw or parakeet, whatever you want to call him. Done quite well on him before. I think he's an official puppet company one. He's got a squeaker. So yeah, he's quite cool. I've had him and a crow and done them as a pair, but got him. He was £1. These two strawberries, these from the Co-op Goodness Gang. I don't really sell these anymore because I just don't come across them regularly enough to put them in bundles, and individually they're not worth doing. But my father-in-law, he's down in Suffolk, and he gets loads and loads of these, so I'll just give them to him, and they were 50p each. You can get sort of, I don't know, about £2.50 if you do them as a bundle. So you do a bundle of 10, 50, 10, you're getting about 20, 25 quid. So not great money, but it all helps. So that's for him. Trainers wise, well, yeah, I mean, I just tend to do pretty well on trainers where I'm based. There just seems to be an absolute abundance of them. I don't know if I should go for every pair. There's quite a lot, some quite good ones at the back here. I've got a nice pair of a couple of pairs of Nike Air Max 95s, white ones from 2016. These jacquards from, yeah, a bit more new. They're a bit worn, a pair of them, but they were fairly reasonable. I think I paid £3 and £7 on them. Should look for about sort of 30 for the black ones, probably about 40 for the white ones. Pair of Reebok LX 8500s. They were £6 out of a charity shop. Quite good condition. Decent pair of Jordans here. These were a fiver, and so were these Air Max 90s, my wife's size, so I'll probably have to keep them away from her because she'll want them. These are sort of £20-25 pairs of trainers. Likewise with these Air Max 1s, really good condition. These were really nice pair of trainers. These actually I didn't buy these. I found these just on my street. Pretty worn, but I've already sold them, got 15 quid for them, so that was quite good, considering they were a freebie. Pair of Superstars, these tend to do really well, nice condition. These were 3 quid. Yeah, sort of £20-25 again back on them roughly. Got 4 or so pairs of the Rift trainers, the ones which have got the Velcro, and so this, I mean, slightly running into the wrong season to be selling these now. These are really good over the summer, and sold a couple of pairs of them. A couple of them are in really good condition. The black ones here are really nice. The tread's really good on these. Yeah, and providing they're not like super dirty inside or really worn away, these ones you can see are sort of still quite nice in there. You can do quite well on those. So yeah, those were sort of range, sort of 20s to 30s on them. So loosen the focus a bit there. Keep going back up here. Pair of white Air Max. These are just sort of like a bread and butter sale. Good condition, well, reasonable condition. A bit sort of blurred, a bit of wear around the edges. But again, tend to do pretty well with these. Sort of £20, £25 pair of trainers. And all these sort of trainers I was paying just a couple of quid for. It's really competitive for trainers where I am, and so if you're not there on the spot, you're gonna do well to. You're going to do well to get loads and loads of decent ones. So they're also going to be in a bit of sort of worse for wear, and the condition isn't going to be great on them. But I paid only a few quid, as I say, for most of these, so should be plenty of money in these. These were a couple of quid. This is what are these called? These have got a strange name, sort of I can't pronounce, Mekon Wrecker or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, slightly different. Yeah, a couple of quid, should go about 15 to 20 on them. Nice pair of Air Max 1s again, slightly small size, but really nice condition, nice colourway, should do alright with those. Paid 3 quid for these, Lunar Breathe or something like that, pair of Nike trainers. Yeah, nothing special. These, I've never had these before. I have read about these because I do run myself a bit, but pair of Vivo barefoot trainers, and they're really expensive to start off with. These are a little bit worn down, which isn't great for a pair of running trainers, but I only paid 5 quid on them, so I should do all right. And then just here, just loads and loads of Converse. I mean, there's a few slightly interesting ones. These ones have the sort of denim finish to them. What else? These ones had a decent pattern on them. Quite interesting. You know, again, all these were sort of like £1, £2. Didn't really pay much more than that. These ones were quite interesting as well. I wouldn't have bought these ordinarily, but they were only £1, and they're the charity ones. They're by Converse Red. It's quite hard to know how to list those and find exactly what they are. A couple of pairs of leather ones, a little pair of gazelles. I wouldn't have bothered with these, but the guy owed me £2 and he just did not have any change, and I didn't have any either, so I had to pick something off his stall as well, which they're pretty reasonable condition, but they're size 1, so I just wouldn't bother with those ordinarily, just a bit small. But yeah, should do alright with those. So yeah, that's all the trainers I got, so that'll keep me plenty busy listing all those, cleaning them up and getting them sorted. Moving on to some of the other bits I found. This was great. This is the first time I ever found one of these, an Olympus Muji 2. Sadly, the battery doesn't quite click in. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a little bit of damage at the bottom there, so it doesn't quite click in. But it's the first time I've ever had one of these, having been looking at them for a long time, and they're sort of, if you get them in perfect condition, they're sort of like a £200 camera. But yeah, really pleased with that, and it works. So that's really great. And that was £5. I paid up on this Walkman. It's a cassette, really nice Sony one. Again, I knew it was a quality one as soon as I saw it. It hasn't got a charger, so it's going to be a bit tricky to test it, but I might just sell it as spares. But yeah, these again, in great condition, complete. You're talking sort of like £80–90. So yeah, I should do alright on the tenner I paid on that. This I bought off one of the guys I buy a lot of stuff, gaming stuff off. Advanced SP, he wanted 15, well, he wanted 20 quid for it, but I gave him 15. It's a bit top end, but because it's got official Zelda 4 swords, that's got a bit of value, so that's all right. Ink, always worth picking up if it's sort of fairly desirable model. These brother ones tend to do pretty well. That was a lady who normally has ink for me. That was £5 for the 3 of them, so that's really great. This was nice. This Harry Potter Lego set. Now, you used to not be able to, not quite give these away, but these used to go for sort of 3 or 4 quid, and the value on these has just jumped. These are on Amazon, I think, for sort of 20, sort of 19, 20, 25 quid upwards now. And these were a giveaway with one of the newspapers. Lady had some other ones, but they were 2 quid each or 3 for a fiver. So I just went for the Harry Potter one because I knew that one's got serious value. They've just released. Last few weeks ago, released some Harry Potter minifigures, so people might be looking for this anyway. So yeah, that's quite a good find. That was. This, I've got a couple of little Brio trains here. This one's got a light. I don't know. I've taken the battery out of it. This one's got a light, but I believe it's meant to go forwards and backwards as well. But sadly, it doesn't work. Just the light, it lights up. This one makes a bit of a noise. Oh yeah, and if you move them along, he lights up. So these were part of a big bundle of big box of Brio. There, it's not all Brio in there. It's got a couple of the mountains. It's got a little stop and go bit, and then it's got a few other trains. And I saw that had these ones in there. The lady wanted 15 quid for it, which is a bit top end again for it. I managed to get pay 12 quid for it, and I was just sorting it out now. It had a £2 coin in the bottom of the box, so I paid a tenner for that. So that was quite good. But again, I knew the value. If this worked, these are sort of £15 by themselves. This one you can get about 10 to 12 on that one, and then some of the other specialist bits I've got in there do quite well, so that was quite a nice little find. This is just some Lego, some Disney cars Lego, a couple of quid I paid on that. I wasn't really planning on reselling that. My nephew's just starting to get into Lego, so that'll probably go to him. This was quite cool. This is the Thunder Tank. I had the original one of these, which do really well. These new modern ones, not quite so good. It's got Schnarf in it, it's got liner, it's got all the bits. Yeah, not a great buy, but shouldn't do too badly with it. Just coming down here, again, something from my childhood. Dinosaurs, the Disney, I'm the baby. Sort of puppet sitcom. The guy had 7 of these. I don't know if there's 8 of these. I think might be, but they were 50p each. And so I'll just probably list them as a bundle. I might look at selling them individually, but probably just do them as a bundle. Maybe sort of push my luck a bit, maybe 30 quid, something like that. Some people are trying to sell individual ones for 10 quid, so can't hurt to try that. Just moving back here, just finish this stuff off. Got 3 Lego games. They are each a quid. Again, these aren't great for just selling by themselves, because you lose so much on postage and not a lot of value in them. But with 3 of them, I might be able to stick them all together, maybe get 20 quid. There's a bit of Ninjago Lego under there hiding. I think it's, yeah, unfortunately quite a lot of it's missing, but they only wanted 10p. So I was like, well, I'll just take it and just add it to my bulk, if need be, my bulk Lego, and use it as spares. Bucket of Soldiers Toy Story, that was £2. It's meant to have 72 in there and there's 70 in there, which is, you know, it just is what it is. That goes for about £15, not a bad thing to sell around Christmas. This Duplo, paid £8 on this, paid up on it, but it's all sealed inside, so that's quite nice. It is open, but it's sealed inside. That's about a £25 set. And this Duplo I actually bought from a charity shop for £1. It's missing the 2 figures, unfortunately, but it's got the rest. So yeah, I should do all right with that. This Duplo, you can see at the top, that's not actually Duplo, it's sort of like a knockoff version of it. I wasn't going to buy it, and they said, oh, it's only £1. So I thought I'll pick that up. You know, it's got the animals, it is really, really good. Really good knockoff, I should say. The figures, the arms are a bit loose on them, but other than that, it's quite hard to sort of differentiate between it. I probably won't sell it, but I might use some of the animals maybe if I do get another zoo set and just sort of top up the zoo. I'd mention that it wasn't official, they weren't official Duplo, because I wouldn't think that would be fair otherwise. But yeah, so that was quite cool. This was a really good find. I've never had anything really like this before. VF160, it's sort of like it's a mixing desk, but it's got a CD built in there and it records and does stuff for you. Paid up on it, I had the box with it, paid £40 for that, but they sell for about 160, so should do quite well with that. Over here I've got I can't remember what make it is. Is it Stop Lock? Yeah, Stop Lock Pro car Stop Lock, and they do all right. I paid £5 for that, and they go for about 25 to 30, so that was nice. Now CDs, I tend not to buy the generic sort of just now CDs, but these ones are really decent. These are the sort of the annual ones, the anniversary ones. We've got, sadly we're missing 1990, we've got 87, 88, 89 and then 91 and then this 21, but they're in absolutely mint condition and they were 50p each. And some people are sort of trying to list these again, so getting actually not just listing but getting sort of 10 to 15 pounds for some of those top end, and these are absolutely mint, so I should do really well with those. So that was quite a nice find. A few bits of clothing. This was from guys who do stuff free for a fiver, that Fred Perry, and they also had this Harvard Gant sort of, I don't know what you'd call that really, just sort of like a fleecy jacket. So yeah, I should do all right with that. Gant stuff's quite expensive to start off with. Fred Perry, you know, you get about £20 for these. Yeah, these polos. This was interesting. This was a West Ham shirt. A guy had quite a few shirts, and they all seemed to be signed, but they were all different teams. He had Sunderland ones, he had Hull ones. I just wasn't, I couldn't quite work it out. I asked him where these come from, and he said they'd come from a sports shop, which I thought was a bit odd with all to have them all signed, but I will just double check on these. We wanted £3. He says he's there every week, so I mean, if these turn out to be genuine or I do all right with them, I might pick up a few more of him, but you know, I just went for one for the time being. I mean, they were all new shirts actually, so maybe I could have had a few more, but yeah, that's £3, so I'll see how I get on with that. Off the guys who do stuff free for a fiver, just standard stuff, just like Levi's, big waisted Levi's tend to do all right. Pair of 501s, another black pair of, I don't know, 514s, but a big waist, big size, 38, 36, that's for a bit of a giant. Hugo Boss chinos, they do all right. Ralph chinos, and then these sort of paired diesel chinos, which again, all do all right. You know, you sort of, Levi's, they're not quite as well as they used to. There's a lot of them on eBay, so you've got to wait around. But you know, you'd sort of 20 to 25 sort of top end for just your sort of 501s, maybe a bit more for the bigger sizes. But yeah, should do all right on all of those. And I picked up a few video games, not a huge amount. So that focusing. Guy had loads of PS1s, but they were all knockoffs. But he did have this one in his bag. He charged me 50p for that, so that's quite good. Resident Evil, I've probably got a case which needs that, so that's quite a nice find. This was good. This was Harry Potter for the PC. It's the sort of trilogy, but it's still brand new and sealed on Amazon. I mean, I think it's hard to know what to price it at. I'll probably try for £60 or something like that. That was a couple of quid, so yeah, that was quite nice. £1 each on 3 of these little Wii games. Nothing great, but good condition. This was nice. The guy had quite a lot of Sims stuff. He had quite a lot of just new and sealed stuff, but the Sims 4 base games he had were opened, and Sims 4 you can only use them once. Now, I couldn't even tell they were in that good condition. I don't even know if they had been used, but it just wasn't worth it. But this one was sealed and it was £1, so went on that. So he had some like FIFA 17s and some other stuff, but yeah, it's just a bit tricky to know. Whether to risk the other ones, maybe could have, but I've had a return on a Sims 4 in the past, so I just didn't think it was worth it. This is quite a nice, but unfortunately it's missing bits, but it's the Action Replay Max for the DS Lite, and just in there is just the disc. It does come with a disc and then also with like a lead which plugs into the back of the DS, which is missing. But complete, that goes for a really good money, sort of 60, 70 quid I think people have sold that for in the past. So just the CD, just the disc might be quite helpful for somebody to maybe complete, you know, part of theirs which they've got to make it, or they might have lost that. And so yeah, should do all right with that. I think that is everything. Yeah, it was great to be back at the Bootsales. Really enjoyed it. It's strange, you do sort of look forward to it. Hopefully get, I don't know, I say hopefully get the majority of this listed this week. I mean, should do. If I, yeah, we'll see how we go. If I don't, it's just one of those things, and it's not bad to be stockpiling stuff a little bit now, because obviously boot sales do slow down over the winter and so on. But yeah, maybe some of these Converse maybe went a bit hard on them and could have maybe sort of been a bit more picky, but you know, I'm just let loose a bit. So that's it, that's my day. Sales wise, things are doing all right since I got back from Thailand. Most days sort of 100+ days, which is pretty good, pretty, you know, sort of nice place for me to be. Yeah, had a few really good results recently, but yeah, enough of that. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I'll speak soon. Cheers, bye bye.